Greetings, salutations. Well, it's been a week and a half, I think, since I got the ZTE Axon M, this little phone right here, and I'm going to give you my opinion about it. Now, I'm going to have a couple of photographs thrown for the camera and a couple things to say about it. Some of you don't want to sit around and wait for the whole review. You just want to know, what did I think? You can buy this phone between 120 and 150 bucks, depending on where you buy it right now. And it is this phone right here, and for that kind of money, I think you should buy it. It's a very good phone. I mean, just for the display part alone, I mean, look at that display. But if you, there you go, look at that. I mean, that is just beautiful. That's just a beautiful display. Then you close it up, back to regular phone. It's just amazing. I do suggest that you buy a screen protector kit for this, because otherwise you lay it down, you might not see. Now I'm aware of it, and I always usually put my phones down like on a napkin or paper towel or something, so that even the ones that don't have dual screens are protected. But you really need a screen protector on this one, just in case. I highly recommend it. I'm not a big screen protector guy, but you can't get a case for this, because the one case that was made by ZTE you can't get anymore. For those of you who want a more in-depth opinion, this is running a slightly older Android version, but the Android this is running super smooth. I ran everything that I wanted to run on this thing with no problems. I did some gaming ones, and I'm not a gaming guy, but I put on some games on it, and they all ran smooth. I like the folding open for the thing, because if you watch, like if you open this up and you watch a YouTube video on this, it is amazing. Now let's see, there you can program the button on the side here to do something, and I have mine programmed. Got it. Yes, I'm aware. Trust me, I'm aware. I've been doing this for a long time now. There we go. We want to do that. Got it. Okay. And we'll go to the thing. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the full screen on Netflix. Okay, I wanted to log into my Netflix. So if you push the button, now that button can be set for any video streaming service, YouTube, whatever you want, but I have it set up for, there we go, it's actually this way, but you turn it this way when you watch a movie, trust me. Let's just play this one real quick. There you go. And as you can see, it's beautiful. It's also got the speaker works for the earpiece and down below. See? So it works perfectly fine for I mean, it gives you dual stereo speakers. It is really great. Alright, let's turn that one off. And the display, as you can see, is beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's very fast. It's got 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. So it'll run everything you want to do on it. I had no problem sending SMSs. Phone calls were perfectly fine on it. Everything worked great. You could tell when this was made back in 2017, it was a flagship. The reason it didn't go over well was a couple. One, it was ZTE. 2, it was on AT&T exclusively. And 3, the price, $800 plus. Now that you can get this unlocked, and I got this brand new unlocked, even though it does have AT&T branding on it, it's unlocked. And I got this off of Amazon for less than 140 bucks delivered, and the price has actually gone down another $10 or $15 since I bought this. So you can get this for under 120 bucks. You can also buy it on eBay, but you gotta be careful that you're not getting somebody's refurbished or used one. I got a brand new one. And then when you saw it, I did the unboxing. So the important things: it's got stereo sound through the 2 speakers, one big speaker on the bottom, and then the earpiece speakers also got volume coming through it for movies and stuff. The display is very good, especially when you open it wide. It is amazing. The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, all work perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with any of that. Typing on it, especially when you open up, is even easier because the keyboard's easier, and especially if you're a thumb typer like me, because of the way it splits in the back, you can type. It's quite easy. It takes a little learning. A lot of people say the split in the middle, the fold, kind of takes away from the picture. And if you, let me open it back up here. This, when you're watching the movie or something in here, it really does disappear, especially after the first day or two. You don't even see it when you're watching something. The cameras are very good outside. I mean, like, really good outside. With any camera from 2 years ago, though, indoor performance is not as good. Now, I've got a couple of pictures that I took, some outside and a couple of inside stuff that I will, well, I guess I'll just put them in right here so you can take a look at them. And there you go. Pretty good pictures, especially outside. There's no problem at all. Now inside, depending on the lighting, you do get, it gets a little darker. But if you're like me and you like to take photographs, most of us who take photographs have a photo editor, and a little tweaking, pictures look great. So the camera is really good in my opinion for what it is. The flipping it around to use it one way or the other with the phone takes a little to get used to. But once you do it a couple times, it's pretty straightforward. It's not really that difficult. The phone itself, it charges really well, and the battery on it lasts really pretty good. I can get a couple of hours watching YouTube videos and stuff when I stretch out on the bed there at night, and it's still got plenty of power left. I mean, I watch 2 or 3 hours of YouTube videos, and I'll still have like 65% battery left. It gets really good, especially considering the size of the display. In my opinion, if you're willing to take a little slightly older version of Android and maybe not having the best camera out there at the moment, but still having one that takes, in my opinion, really good photographs. If you were to buy a regular phone that came out this year for 150 bucks, you would probably only get 3 gigs of RAM if you're lucky. Probably only 32 gigs of storage, and you would get a camera that was okay. You're getting a lot better for the money. And in my opinion, if you're going to spend 150 bucks or down to 120, you're better off to buy a slightly older flagship. You know, I'm making this video on my S8 Plus. I've had this phone for what, 3 years now, I think, something like that. It's been out a long time. It still works perfectly fine. I like to get the other phones just to try things out. But this phone, every now and then, it's getting to the 3-year mark, it gets a little glitchy. All phones do. So don't be bought into that whole hype having to spend $700 to $1,000 on a new phone when you really don't need to. Not anymore. There's just too many good phones, 500 and less, 300 and less, 200 and less, and this is a perfect example of that. This is a great phone that's got many years of good life left into it. And I'm pretty sure if you're on AT&T, you can get the update to Nougat on this. You can't unless you're on AT&T because it was an AT&T phone. But I've heard a couple of people on some of the forum messages that I've read and stuff that say that if you're on AT&T, about half of them get the Nougat update. So if you're on AT&T, you might even get the Nougat update. So I mean, for the price, you just can't go wrong. I mean, it's just a good, solid phone. Probably the best phone I've tried in a while. I mean, I've tried some of the newer ones. I've also done things like the phablet, 8-inch tablet. This is a great little tablet right here. God, I can't remember the name of it now. The Chewy, that was it. HI9 Pro, I believe. This is a phone, and it does. I think this is a great tablet phone and stuff. But look at the size of that. Yeah, you get a big screen this way, but it never gets smaller. If you got this phone, I mean, look at the difference, you know? And then when you open this up, you're getting a pretty close to this. Not quite as big as this by any stretch of imagination, but close to it. But you can fold it up and have it pocket size. Now, this could fit in a pocket if you had some cargo jeans or pants or something, but I mean, this is a great thing to have if you want a bigger one most of the time. But the camera's not as good in this thing by any stretch of the imagination, and it's only got well, it does have the USB-C, so that's a good thing. But like I said, the camera on it is not nearly as good. This is great if you need a tablet that stays a tablet and you want it to also be a phone. That's a good compromise. But really, the ZTE Axon M is just quality, and I think it was overlooked for a lot of, well, good reasons, the price, and a lot of bad reasons because it was on AT&T, and I think that's too bad. I think that was a real problem for most people. But I mean, it's just a beautiful phone. It really is. And this hinge is not flimsy by any stretch of the imagination, and when it closes, it just closes nice and tight. It doesn't flop around. It's just a great phone. So you saw the pictures, you seen the unboxing of it, and you know, if you're going to spend the money, spend it on that one. Or, you know, if you're not into the big screen thing, because that's the big selling point for this one, but if you want a good phone for that price, you can get like the Galaxy S8 now for a pretty reasonable price. It'll still cost you more than that one will, but my advice to you is don't fall for the hype of buying the most expensive phone thinking you get the best stuff, because technically, yeah, you get a little better camera, usually a little better battery, display is usually a little bit better, but really, how much of that do you need? What is it's really important to you? For me, this phone does everything I needed to do for social media. It takes really good photographs, and the bigger display is nice when you want to watch a movie or something and not have a whole tablet. So if you're one of those people that just wants one thing to do everything, that's the one to go with. Just my 2 cents. All right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.